Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm here with a review of the SH Figuarts Kakashi Hatake from Naruto, and this is the brand new release. Not brand new release, I'm actually getting the UK release of this guy, but this is the newer version because we did have a original release, which I have right here, which I'll be putting up during the review, just for comparisons and whatnot. So I just want to quickly address something. I was meant to get a review out for the SH Figuarts Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and I filmed the review. I filmed part of the review, like just opening the box and whatever. Then went off camera, messed around with the figure a little bit, and I actually got a really bad copy, and the arm snapped off, and his leg was really loose, which I've seen is a common problem, so I'm not going to count that. But yeah, his arms just completely snapped off, joints broken, whatever. So won't be able to get that review out for you anytime soon. I don't really want to continue with the broken figure, just because number one, I'll get annoyed at it even more. I think it was just down to a bad copy, so I don't want to get too annoyed at it. I am going to try and get a replacement as soon as I can, and as soon as one gets here, I will do a review. But just to take my mind off that, I wanted to open another new figure that I've picked up, and that's this. This is also from SH Figuarts. Haven't seen any problems with this at all, and this has been out for months now, so yeah. I'm actually really excited to get into this. I picked this up from my local comic book store, or one of my local comic book stores, Worlds Apart. So big shout out to them. I'm going to leave their Instagram in the description, along with my Instagram as well, so you can go check out my photography and go and see what happened to that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, because I did make a post on it, kind of making some jokes about it, so yeah, you can go and check that out as well. So yeah, I'll leave the link to Worlds Apart's Instagram down below. But without further ado, let's take a closer look at the box first before we open the figure up. So you can see the classic plastic window, the figure itself there, product shot, load of product shots in the back, bunch of writing. But besides from that, let's get into the box and have a closer look. Right guys, so here is Kakashi out of the packaging. Now just before we get into the figure itself, I just want to take a look at the accessories. So we're going to start off with the ones that he comes on with out of the box. So we've got his normal head with the mask up. As you can see, and what I specifically want to show you was there's a paint smudge on mine. When you're looking at it from far away, you can't tell, but when you come up and like zoom in, you can tell. So it's not great, but this isn't going to be the main head that I'm using anyway, so I'm not too fussed about that. Then we've got the closed fist that it comes with out of the box. Then moving on to the faceplates for this specific head, we've got the closed eye one. So it's like I think it's like a happy expression. And we've got the shocked one, which is supposed to be the funny one, which you're supposed to put like with the Naruto comes with one, Sakura comes with one. Sasuke obviously doesn't come with one, but yeah, Kakashi obviously had to come with one because there's a lot of moments in the anime where he does have those sort of facial expressions. Then we've got the second head, which is the mask down and the bandana up, where you can see his Sharingan. So out of the packaging, this head comes on with this faceplate. And is it this faceplate? Yeah, this faceplate, and I've changed it over. Now I was really confused because I saw these two faceplates and I was like, oh, they're giving me the same faceplate, and missed out another one. But I am quite blind, and I don't know if I bring these here, and you can tell that the eyes have a different Sharingan. So one of them is Obito's normal Sharingan, which is transplanted into Kakashi's eye, and the other one is the Mangekyo, which he unlocks towards later on in Shippuden. So yeah, so it comes with both of those, which is really good and a really nice attention to detail, which I'm really impressed with. So moving on from that, we've got a lot of hands to go through. So you've seen the fisted hands. We've got the jutsu hands. So these are two molded together. You have to put both the pegs in there. Then we've got two of these open hands, which you can use for like throwing and stuff. You got two of these gripping hands, and then we've got same similar sort of jutsu hands, and you can use it for the two-finger jutsu they just in Naruto. So yeah, we've got these, but obviously separate pieces. We've got these like trigger fingers, which oh, actually no, they're not trigger fingers, I'm an idiot. These are used to hold the book that he comes with, which he's reading all the time, Jiraiya's novel. So yeah, he also comes with that. We'll take a closer look at that in a minute though. Yeah, so he can use those to hold the books. And he's got these other kind of gripping hands. I would say these could probably be used for Chidori effect, but I'll show you that in a minute. And then he comes with this hand, which is used to like pull down his mask. So when he's pulling down his mask and he's opening his Sharingan eye. So yeah, that's used for that. And then, like I said, he comes with a book, the Jiraiya's novels. Very nice detail here, actually. And yeah, he comes with all of that, but he doesn't come with his Chidori. So this is Sasuke's. And the only way you can get this is by buying Sasuke. To be honest, I don't know why you wouldn't have Kakashi without Sasuke or Naruto without Sasuke. That doesn't make sense to me. But if you don't have Sasuke, you won't have this because he doesn't come with it. For the price point they were charging for him, I don't know why they didn't include this. They should have just done it, or they could have done. They should have done a different one for Sasuke maybe, and then a different one for Kakashi, but they haven't included one at all. But if you don't have this, you probably could use any other lightning effect. For example, here is a lightning effect from the Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Red Ranger. So yeah, if I just like, you could probably make it work somehow. That's just me being like quickly with it, but yeah, you could probably make it work somehow. Or there's loads of lightning effects that come with other figures that you could use. I've seen people use some. So yeah, that's pretty much all the accessories that he comes with. A lot, obviously, but for what you're paying, you would expect them to add that much. So yeah, now let's get a closer look at the figure. Right, guys, so here is a closer look at Kakashi. Before we start, have changed the head over. That's just going to be the way I'm displaying it. Currently got the Mangekyo faceplate on. I will be alternating between the normal one and the Mangekyo one. Mangekyo is towards the end of Shippuden, so yeah, I will be alternating depending on, you know, the type of display it's going to go in. And let's just start off with this is clearly a Kakashi from Shippuden and not OG. If you want an OG one, you're going to have to stick with the 1.0, I think, because this does not look like it will work in an OG display, especially with your Kid Sasuke and Kid Naruto that are going to come out in about a month or so now. I don't think this will work. And I personally said this when it was revealed. I don't think this will work in an OG display. That is my only purpose for keeping this. So I can have this as a separate in an OG display and this in a Shippuden display. So yeah, that's just my main point out of the way, which I wanted to get out of the way. So yeah, and let's take a closer look now. So coming to the hair is the same on both head pieces. So a nice like light grey sort of with a tint of blue hair color, and then it's very like rubbery. Some pieces are rubbery, some pieces are like hard plastic. It really works compared to this one where the pieces were hard plastic. It looks a lot more natural and looks yeah, it just looks a lot more better. Then coming to the back, we've got his bandana, which is also soft rubber, so you're going to want to be a little bit careful with that. It's not going to be too delicate. And then we've got a nice gloss on the Shinobi headband. Really nice faceplates, of course, which you saw before. Coming down to this sort of jacket piece, what I thought these panels were going to move out of the way, but they sort of just shift. Not too much actually, but we can get into that with articulation. But yeah, coming down to the jacket, we've got the pockets of the Jonin jackets, and you know, we've got the symbol on the back, nice silver button details. Not too much paint details here, but more molded details, you know, creases and folds. And creases and folds going across the whole figure with, you know, sleeves and stuff as well, and coming down to the trousers and even the shoes. You've got the nice kunai pockets here. One thing to mention, he does not come with kunai as well, which is slightly annoying. But if you have got the OG release, he does come with kunais. I think Naruto does come with kunais in 3.0. So yeah, you do have some kunais in your collection then if you want to use them. I feel like you should have. I feel like you should have come with one kunai, one Chidori, but I don't know. I think they did. Tamashii Nations did do some sort of poll where they said if you want less accessories, we'll charge less and whatnot. And I'm not sure what the outcome of that poll was, and that was specific to the Naruto line. So yeah, and again, yeah, you've just got your sort of basic detailing, but a really nice sculpt work, really, with the creases and, you know, the sort of like ribbons and bandages and all that kind of stuff. It just looks really great and really, like, it adds a touch of realism to it, which I've heard a lot of other people say, and I really like it, especially for a Shippuden look. I think it looks great. So, yeah, now we've had a look at the figure, let's take a look at the articulation. So starting with the articulation, with the head can look up and down. You're gonna want to be careful with the second head. Mine was the sort of hole in the head was filled with a bit of extra plastic, so it was hard to pop on. Once I popped it on, it kind of warped the peg hole, so it's turned out okay, and now it can easily pop on and off. But yeah, you're gonna want to be careful because you don't want to snap the neck peg. So yeah, it looks up about this far. The jacket does restrict him. You can prop the neck forward and then have him look up like that, which I think is probably a better way. Because if you have the neck back, the jacket's going to restrict it. But you can look down quite a bit. Like I said with one of the other figures, I think it was the Yuta figure from Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, the neck piece and the head articulation kind of work in one unit to like make it look more natural and flow better. So that's something SH Figuarts always do well, which is good. He's got a lot of really good head tilt, which is always good. You probably could do a 360 maybe. I mean, the jacket kind of restricts it. Then coming down to sort of the torso area, these pieces, like I said before, kind of just prop out of the way when you want to move the arms instead of actually like moving back, maybe like, you know, like saying armor pieces and stuff. They kind of just prop out of the way. So yeah, you don't want to be putting a lot of force on those. They're quite sturdy. I don't think they'll break or anything, but you don't want to be putting too much force on those at the end of the day. So just be careful how you move the arms and stuff. Then coming down to the torso, we've got the ab crunch forward, about that far forward, and then very far back. These two pieces working in one unit. You've got one ball joint here, one ball joint here. Then you've got the bottom of the jacket piece, which actually works a lot like the OG 1.0 release for Kakashi. It's just sort of a floating piece there, better fitted to the body though than the 1.0, which is kind of expected. And you've got his little pouch at the back, which is ball joint articulated, which is cool. Helps probably to move out the way if you want to, you know, yeah, it's probably going to be for the leg articulation to move out the way and stuff. Then coming to the arms, there's one thing I just want to address, which isn't a problem and actually a really so pleasant surprise. When I opened the figure, the bicep was moving back and forth, and I was worried that mine was loose because I have had it with figures, not SH Figuarts, but more Mayfex actually, where the sort of bicep articulation has been loose and it wiggles from side to side and then it can pop off. It's actually on a ball joint, and that's really impressive because it allows for a bit of extra arm room, and that's actually supposed to be there. So when you open your figure, don't be worried about that. And then obviously you've got your shoulder articulation, you've got your standard sort of butterfly joint within the jacket. I think they've done it okay, and obviously messing around with it more is gonna like sort of allow it to have some more motion and stuff. Fresh out of the box, it's gonna be a bit, you know, stiff. You've got your normal arm peg in there, which the shoulder can swivel around on. You could drop it down, kind of. You need to be very careful because this is actually how my Toby Spider-Man snapped. It was just sort of stuck in there. The peg wouldn't move, so his arm wouldn't move, like rotate like this, and I went to rotate it and snap, it came off. So you want to be careful in certain angles the way you move it. So yeah, he can do a full rotation. You've got a drop down ball peg in there, which can drop down, prop back up. You've got the ball peg which attaches the bicep to the shoulder, which can move from side to side, allows for a little bit of extra range. You're going to need it with these figures, because especially when you have like accessories like this, you're going to want the, the arms to reach fully to the middle. And then we've got the double jointed elbows, as always, getting some great range. We've got the wrist pegs, your basic standard wrist pegs, and then you've got your standard articulation with the hinges on the pegs, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the arms. Then moving down to the legs, we've got the kick forward about that far forward. That I've just noticed that is not flush at all. That does look a bit funny, to be honest with you, but we'll discuss that when we get to it. Kicking about that far forward, about this far back on this one. Yeah, about this far back on both, actually. I thought that this one might be restricted because of this, but nah. Then we've got the bicep, sorry, not bicep, thigh swivel, and then double jointed legs again, double jointed knees. That's a great range. And then coming down to the feet, yeah, he can kick about that far back, and then about this far for very good range, but really not flush. It does look a bit weird, I can't lie. You probably won't be able to see it in most cases, but it does look a bit weird. And then you've actually got extra articulation here at the ankle, which allows for even more range, and that is great. It's always great to see. It's not done on many things, but it's always great to see. Then we've got the spread. He can kick out about this much. So you're gonna want to get him in these support poses sometimes. So you need this type of articulation. It's great to see. A great range with this guy. He flows very naturally. All joints are nice and tight, not too tight to the point where it's restricting articulation and things can break. Just all nice and smooth. So yeah, I'm really happy with the articulation on this guy. And with the articulation done, let's get to some comparisons. One thing I forgot to mention is that he does come with toe articulation and ankle rocker pivot as well. Those are two essential features that you need on the feet to help you get some good poses in. Toe articulation is very tight on both toes, so is the ankle rocker pivot. It's going to give you a great amount of range while he's standing. And yeah, just one thing I forgot to mention, so I thought I'd add in. So with the first comparison here, we've got him next to the 1.0 Kakashi, which I have been bringing in throughout this review. As you can see, there's a clear difference between the two. I think the new one being infinitely better, but the old one suiting the OG look a bit more. I don't think your new one could work in the Shippuden display, so I would stick to the 1.0 if you want an OG one. And you'll probably be able to find them cheap now on eBay and, second-hand sellers, because everyone's been picking up this new one. But the articulation on the new one, it is worth picking up, I'd say. And yeah, I am going to keep the 1.0 for my OG display, because I don't think the new one will work. It's clearly a Shippuden look. I know Tamashii Nations at their events have been displaying the new one alongside the Kid Naruto and Kid Sasuke, which are coming out. Apparently, by the way, I have got a pre-order. Not apparently, I've got a pre-order for Naruto. I didn't pre-order Sasuke because you saw those arms. I'm sure if you've seen the pictures, you saw how long those arms were, how big the hands were. The proportions were completely off. They fixed it, apparently. At the new display, it looks not completely different, but it looks fixed. So I'm going to have to find a pre-order for that now for first release. But I have got Kid Naruto on pre-order from Plaza Japan. So yeah. With that, obviously, you can see a clear size difference. This one looking a lot more blockier and a lot more anime style. This one has a lot more realism to it. But yeah, let's get on to some other comparisons with the Naruto line. Here's Kakashi next to the 2.0 or 3.0 Sasuke. I don't know if it's 2.0 or 3.0. You're going to have to remind me in the comments. The one that came out last year, my figure of the year, amazing figure. And I still think this figure is better than this Kakashi. Kakashi is amazing, but I am a big fan of the whole new resurgence of the Naruto line. I think I haven't had a chance to pick up Sakura yet because I don't want to pay the price for her. For what she is, a figure, I think she'll be really good, but as a character, I don't want to pay the price. Simple as that. But I do need her to complete, the whole team, because I do have Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi now, so all I need is Sakura, and I'll have the complete team. So yeah, I will need to pick that up eventually, but Yeah, here is Sasuke next to Kakashi. Kakashi stands clear over Sasuke. Obviously, Kakashi being an adult and Sasuke being a teen. Naruto being a teen in Shippuden as well. So it's like the size comparison is accurate. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. These two are going to look great next to each other in the collection. And yeah, with that, let's get on to this comparison with Naruto. Here is Kakashi next to the 3.0 Naruto. Now, this size comparison is great. He stands a bit taller, and I think they've done really well on the sizing with all these characters. Obviously, they didn't make Naruto and Sasuke the same size. They weren't lazy like that. Didn't make Kakashi and Naruto the same size. It's like perfect if you go down the line. If I bring Sasuke back in here, you can see it goes down in height order with Sasuke being the smallest. That's accurate to the show, so that is really good. These two look great together, and yeah, I can't wait to have them on the shelf together. And yeah, please forgive the weird pose. He was posed differently on the shelf. Just had to get him off the shelf, straightened up for the review, and put him on the camera. So yeah, there you can see 3.0 Naruto next to Kakashi. And here we have 1.0 Sage Mode Naruto next to Kakashi. Now this size comparison is making me laugh quite a bit. I know the proportions were off with these figures back in the day, and I did pick this up recently actually off eBay because I really wanted to Sage Mode Naruto when I was watching the paint arc. So yeah, that is, I want to say completely off. Yeah, that is completely off. Not completely off. It kind of works, but I think I'm going to have him like floating on a stand or something to make that look natural. But yeah, it's still, that Sage Mode Naruto figure as a figure still holds up really well in my opinion. I think he looks great. And I think his posing is pretty good as well. And I think that goes throughout the board for some of the 1.0 figures. As I'll bring one in just a moment, which I think sort of trumps a lot of the new figures actually. But yeah, let's move on. Here is the 1.0 Sage Naruto, and here he is next to the event exclusive Madara. Now this is one of my prize pieces because I've got a few event exclusives, but this is the newest one that I've got, and probably the one that was a lot sought after that I managed to pick up. I got it from a reseller on eBay. Not too badly priced. I say that, but it was probably double the price that it actually was when people picked it up at the event. I don't know what event it was at, but yeah, I managed to sell my old one for a decent price, so I got the new one, which they fixed the issues and whatever. So that looks great next to Kakashi. The colors really match well on those two figures. Height is great. I think those should look great together. I think these two are the best that actually look the best next to each other. He looks good next to Naruto and Sasuke as well, but these two really feel like they fit the sort of realism, and you know, they're quite dark, like I don't know, in terms of like colors or color wise. So yeah, I feel like they really work next to each other. But yeah, here he's next to the do I call him 1.0 event exclusive Madara, which came out last year. Here he is next to my favorite figure in my whole collection, Itachi Uchiha, which is the 1.0 version with just a custom Akatsuki cloak on. I bought this off eBay, by the way. You can probably find these like from mostly the sellers are in China, so they'll probably ship anywhere. So if you want to, just type in 1/12 collection Akatsuki cloak, and that should come up. I did pay a decent amount for it, but it's worth it. It adds so much character to this figure. But yeah, as you can see, these two stand very well next to each other, and he is so good for a 1.0 figure. And I can't wait for a 2.0 release. Like, obviously, the articulation upgrade is going to be amazing. But for 1.0 figure, he is amazing. Even articulation-wise, he's still pretty good. And look-wise and whatever, he's amazing. The only thing that lets him down is his cloak. But yeah, next to Kakashi, they stand pretty well. The times that they're in the show together, obviously, we see them as sort of teenagers. That's not going to be accurate, obviously. But we do see them fight 1 or 2 points in the show at sort of this age. And that looks perfect to me. As I said before, the 1.0 figures don't really scale with the new ones, but he does. So that's why that like proves my point even further, that he's a really good figure. And yeah, these two look great next to each other, and you know, they're going to be on the shelf again. I'm excited to see that. And here he is next to your standard 6-inch figure. This is the Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man, fan favorite on the channel. You know, I'll bring him in for every review, so I thought, why not? That's actually surprising. He stands a bit taller with the hair. I know Kakashi's hair is a bit like long, and like it does add a bit of height. But that is supposed to be like sort of 5 inch, and this is obviously a clear 6 inch. So that does seem quite tall, but he scales well with like a lot of the newer figures and the older ones. I know they have, for the new Naruto line, they've kind of upscaled a little bit, as they're doing that for like a lot of the different figures. Like they're doing it for Spider-Man and whatnot. So yeah, I think they are trying to upscale so it could fit better with other things in your collection. But these two will never be on the shelf next to each other anyway, so that doesn't really matter. I just wanted to show you how he looks next to a standard 6-inch figure. Right guys, so here is Kakashi in a nice pose as we come to the end of the video. As you can see, I've got him with his Chidori, not his Chidori, Sasuke's Chidori, but you know, or lightning blade, whatever you want to call it. That's my only gripe with the figure, that he doesn't come with that. I think he should have, especially for the price range that they're charging. I think he should have come with that. But he does look great, and I imagine most of you will probably have Sasuke in your collection if you're getting Kakashi, because you want to complete the whole team, right? So you can use this, and that's how I'll be using this. And yeah, he looks great. Articulation's amazing. Actually the other gripe is that this faceplate has the paint smudge on it. Paint smudge is like a factory error. It's not something that's widely a problem, and it's not a face that I intend to use anyway, so it doesn't really bug me too much. Knocking the points off for the Chidori and say the faceplate, I'm gonna give this a straight 9.5 out of 10. It's almost a perfect Kakashi figure, and yeah, he is amazing. If you do get the chance to pick him up, I would say definitely pick him up, and he's going to look great in your collection, and he's really fun to mess around with. I haven't taken any pictures with this guy yet, and I will be taking some, so head over to my Instagram, link in the description, to go and check those out. And besides from that, let me know if you have this guy and how you feel about him. And if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to share with all your family and friends. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.